Last past the post with no vast share of votes is the party that cares for this country the most. It's the Greens. And their team are all sharing a toast. That they managed to keep their one single held seat on the shingle shell beach at the heart of the coast. But now they're ceasing to joke and they're starting to mope. It's the least we could hope for. It's bleak for us folk, for that seat is the key thing that keeps us afloat. No one listens. First Bristol voted Karen Smith and the Scots lost the plot and voted in a fish. And we're sick of the papers. They try to deride us. So we're full of hot vapour for changing the climate. They strive to remind us our party is spineless. So let's hire a new guy to arrive and surprise them, who can pulverise cynical critics to silence by putting the violence back in non-violence, inciting more voters to come to our side and to counsel their councils to be more like Brighton's, from Dorset and Cornwall right up to the Highlands, who can draw out support for our thoughts on a licence on every electrical household appliance, and changing our nation's most shameful reliance on planes by enchaining BA's finest pilots and making them pay off their debts to these islands with sweat, making wind farms that stretch right to Ireland. We need someone defiant, someone who might set off Trident on those who oppose our planned scrapping of Trident. It's time that we find him. We really can't stand to wait longer. We've got to get a Beefcake Green candidate. Someone green through and through, a true kiwi or lime, not a melon, Lib Dem yellow on the inside, or a watermelon, red on the inside instead, but a mean hard nut green who can squeeze a few headsies like Apollo Credo, so eager to tax all those greedy big cheeses in really big banks, thanks he won't take no bullshit. No heifer dung either, except for manure as a pure fertiliser. He tells frackers to frack off because in their quates he's like the kind of guy when he falls in a lake you don't get wet, the water gets him. Like Chuck Norris but with plans to ban all private transport in Norwich. He's got a romantic mandate to sweep mill a band away at a vegan restaurant. No beef for Beefcake candidate. No. Our Beefcake don't eat beef or cakes. So he's stuffing soy substitute steaks, eggless, unbuttoned muffins to build up the muscles for taking on Brussels. He's Jean-Claude Van Damme in the great Jean-Claude tussle with Jean-Claude Juncker from the European Commission. Beefcake lands the first punch. That's for greenhouse emissions. So how about it, punk? Are you ready to meet pain? This time it's just you and me, not you and me. Thane, I'll kick your ass back to Redange, Luxembourg and bury you deep in an eco-green morgue. A green funeral. There won't be no embalming, because formaldehyde spoils the soil for farming. The stench of your body will drift on the breeze till we can find air fresheners without CFCs. Juncker begs for forgiveness. He's down on his knees. No more. Let me live. I'll do anything, please. Beefcake pulls him up. Don't you be so emotional. I'll give you 3 days for the Kyoto Protocol. Another 4 days to ensure you hit every last climate change target set by the G20. A week's a long time in politics. That's plenty to replace all the cars with electric-fueled Bentleys. You've got a week, Juncker. A good deal to do. Don't make me come back here next week for round 2. It gives Juncker a final backhand as he lands today. It's just one more victory for the Beefcake Green candidate. Beefcake Green's the meanest I've seen, built like a brick shithouse with a self-clean latrine with sustainable bog roll from maintainable forest. He bust his bike cycling to work before Boris recycled that cycle and cycled to Nigel Lord Lawson's and forced him to find that the climate is changing. Beefcake says it's not rearranging. Can't shake it or fake it, it's you that we're blaming. You tried to deny it, Nigel, what a shame it's man-made. We're not taken in. Even Ron Reagan complained at the rates that the ice caps were caving. It's our planet, our fault, our duty to save it. Now you say that it's natural. I say that it can't be. It don't take a score of Al Gores or an army of Mike Moores for sure, Nige. It's happening more fastly than your daughter's divorce from that RC Charles Saatchi. Don't mean to be nasty, Nigel, but it hardly seems smart to avoid the storm warnings from Barclay, advising your party that, well, it's like Fibonacci, a natural pattern. No ties to our sharply inclined use of fossil fuels, no. That's gossip, starkly hyped up by hippies who love grass and parsley. Now, for all those tree huggers, those whale blubber lovers, I'm forced to inform you of why you should bother. Because I'm the ecology prodigy of Danny Glover and I'll pummel your butt like this world you make suffer now, Nigel. Those ice caps will soon be erased, far faster than your daughter's last show, The Taste, which was cancelled by Channel 4 after one series. You defied all the science, denied all the theories. So I'm here tonight, frankly, to teach you it clearly. Hope you've got your hankies, it's going to get teary. Now Beefcake Green gets greener and meaner than the Hulk when he's been in a green Ford Cortina and he puts Lord Lawson in one of his daughter's steamers. Now Nigel, you're right that the world is a heater, so I'll click the heat on just below where your feet are. This lid I've just slid on, that's our atmosphere. Now the gas you just shat in your pants out of fear gets trapped by the glass, stays where you're scat, and we are, well, Nelly, it's suddenly well hot in here. See the watermark rises, you shed every tear, that's just like the ice. It'd kill all the Inuits if it melted the same rate as your body fluids. I can't hear your screams. Are you pleased that you're in this ecosystem you insisted didn't exist? Now you've pissed out your kidneys, they've whipped into mister while skipping the step where you check if you're zipped. You're the antagonist with the most backwards plan today. But you're no match for the fucking Beefcake green candidate. Soon Beefcake outgrew us. He became a nuisance. He grew ruthless and brutish, told Caroline Lucas her plans to plant spruces were futile and useless, said your trees treat the symptoms, but not the abuses. He soon overthrew her like Jesus and Judas, like if she was Julius, then Beefcake was Brutus. And then he got Natalie sacked for the fact that she once bought a pack of non-chargeable batteries. Now to the flattery, Beefcake just shattered his enemies. When he beat Natalie Bennett, he swam the Atlantic and blew up the Senate with a bomb made of compost. This one's for the planet. Beefcake Green's in charge now, and here are my tenets. From now on, our botanics will all be organic. No more Parmesan cheese made of animal rennet. No more electronics, electrics, mechanics. No breathing. Air's natural. It's not ours to sample. I'm expecting you all to respect my example. Beefcake holds his breath like a martyr, remorseless, accepts death, and saps no more natural resources, in the hope that his passing will set a new precedent. And that, my friends, is the end of the Beefcake Green President.